A 22-year-old woman texts, "Good night, I love you," to her father before going to sleep in what she believes is a safe house. 6 hours later, a career criminal with 39 arrests, who should have been in prison, shoots her dead in her bed. But here's the part that will make your blood boil. The system knew he was dangerous. They had nearly 4 decades of evidence, and they let him walk free anyway. What happened to Logan Rivera isn't just a tragedy. It's a system failure so catastrophic, so preventable, that it exposes everything wrong with how we handle repeat offenders in America. And if you think this couldn't happen to someone you love, you need to hear this story. Before we dive in, I need to ask you something. Have you ever felt completely safe somewhere, only to discover you were never safe at all? Drop a comment and let me know, because Logan's story is about to shatter that illusion for all of us. And if stories like this, where the system fails innocent people while protecting career criminals, make you as angry as they make me, hit that subscribe button right now. We're building a community of people who refuse to let these injustices be forgotten. Logan Rivera was the kind of person who made you believe in humanity again. At 22, she was working as a part-time bartender while pursuing her dream of becoming a teacher, someone who wanted to spend her life helping kids build better futures. Her friends described her laugh as infectious, the kind that made strangers turn around just to smile. For a moment, just imagine. You're young, ambitious, with your whole life stretching out before you like an open highway. That was Logan. She had plans. She had dreams. She had a father who adored her and friends who considered themselves lucky just to know her. She was the kind of daughter every parent hopes to raise, responsible, caring, always checking in. On May 2nd, 2025, Logan drove from her home in Waxhaw, North Carolina, to Columbia, South Carolina, to visit friends for what should have been a perfect weekend. She was staying in a rented house on Cypress Street, a quiet neighborhood where young professionals and college students felt safe enough to leave their doors unlocked. Think about your own 22-year-old self, or someone you love who's that age. Remember that feeling of invincibility, that belief that if you're careful, if you make good choices, you'll be okay. Logan made every right choice. She went to bed early. She texted her dad her usual goodnight message, "Good night, I love you," just like she did every single night. What would your last text to your family say? Comment below and tell us, because Logan had no idea hers would actually be her last. She fell asleep in what she believed was safety, surrounded by friends in a house that felt secure. For Logan Rivera, May 2nd ended like any other day. But May 3rd would never come for her. While Logan slept peacefully, 30-year-old Samuel Dickey was prowling through the same neighborhood. But here's what makes this story so infuriating. It'll keep you awake at night. Dickey wasn't some unknown quantity. He wasn't a first-time offender having a mental break. He was a career criminal with a rap sheet longer than most novels. 39 arrests. Think about that number. 39 times law enforcement had their hands on this man. 39 opportunities to protect future victims. Multiple burglary convictions that should have put him away for years. But here's where your blood pressure is about to spike. Due to what officials called missing fingerprint data, charges from 2014 were never properly documented in his official record. So when prosecutors looked at Samuel Dickey in 2023, they saw what they thought was a first-time offender. Instead of the prison sentence he deserved, they gave him probation. They literally released a predator back into the community because of paperwork. Do you want to know how many people are walking free right now because of similar administrative errors? I guarantee it's a number that would terrify you. Drop a comment below. Do you think there should be backup systems to prevent these kinds of deadly mistakes? In the early hours of May 3rd, Dickey broke into a neighboring house. He stole a gun, credit cards, and car keys. But he wasn't finished. For reasons that still make investigators sick to think about, he entered Logan's room where she lay sleeping. He shot her in the chest. She never woke up. She never had a chance to scream, to run, to fight for her life. She died in her sleep, probably dreaming about her future as a teacher, never knowing that a system failure had sealed her fate. When deputies found her body the next morning, they ruled it a homicide. But they also called it random, as if that word could somehow make the injustice less devastating. Logan Rivera died because of a cascade of failures so comprehensive it reads like a blueprint for how not to run a criminal justice system. Let me walk you through exactly how 39 arrests somehow didn't equal justice. Samuel Dickey's criminal career started years before Logan was even born, but the system treated each arrest like it was happening in a vacuum. Burglary charges from 2014 that should have marked him as a repeat offender somehow disappeared into an administrative black hole. Missing fingerprint data, something as basic as a driver's license photo, meant that prosecutors in 2023 looked at his file and saw a clean slate. Think about the technology in your pocket right now. Your phone can identify your face in milliseconds, remember every photo you've ever taken, and track your location to within feet. But somehow, our justice system can't keep track of a career criminal's fingerprints. Here's what kills me about this case. Logan's father, Stephen Rivera, put it perfectly when he said, "Somebody with 39 arrests was treated with more respect than Logan did." Read that again. A man who spent his adult life terrorizing communities got more consideration from the system than his innocent victim. What does that say about our priorities? What does that tell families about whether their loved ones matter? Drop a comment and tell me, how do we explain this to Logan's family? But the system failures didn't end with Dickey's sentencing. Even after Logan's murder, the pattern continued. Within 36 hours of killing her, Dickey broke into another home, stole a vehicle, set it on fire, and was finally arrested in Lexington County. It took the murder of an innocent young woman for law enforcement to finally take this career criminal seriously. What happened after Logan's murder reads like a horror movie, except it was real life unfolding in real time while her family was planning her funeral. Dickey didn't stop with Logan. He didn't go home and feel remorse. He didn't turn himself in. Instead, he went on a crime spree that proves exactly how dangerous he was, and how many more people could have been hurt because the system failed to contain him earlier. Within hours of murdering Logan, he broke into another home. He stole another vehicle. He set it on fire. Each crime was a middle finger to the justice system that had repeatedly failed to stop him. Think about the families in those other homes. Think about waking up to find a killer had been in your house, touching your belongings, threatening your safety. How many other Logan Riveras were just lucky that night? When police finally arrested him in Lexington County, it wasn't because of brilliant detective work or sophisticated surveillance. It was because he literally couldn't stop committing crimes long enough to avoid capture. Now he faces charges including murder, multiple counts of burglary, weapon possession, grand larceny, and arson. A judge finally denied him bond, something that should have happened decades ago. His next hearing is set for July 25th, where he could face a life sentence. But here's the question that haunts Logan's family. How many of those charges could have been prevented if the system had worked the first 38 times? Stephen Rivera trusted the system to protect his daughter. He raised her to follow the rules, make good choices, and believe that good things happen to good people. Then that same system failed so spectacularly that it cost Logan her life. Listen to his words. Somebody with 39 arrests was treated with more respect than Logan did. This father, who sent his daughter goodnight texts every evening, who watched her chase her dreams of becoming a teacher, has to live with the knowledge that bureaucratic incompetence killed his child. He called what happened the most horrendous thing. Not just Logan's murder, though that's devastating enough to destroy any parent, but the systematic failures that made her death preventable, the missing paperwork that let a killer walk free, the administrative errors that prioritized a career criminal's rights over community safety. What would you do if this was your daughter? How would you find the strength to keep speaking out, to keep demanding answers, to keep Logan's memory alive while watching her killer finally face consequences that came too late? Stephen Rivera shouldn't have to be an advocate for criminal justice reform. He should be planning Logan's wedding, not fighting for changes that might prevent other families from experiencing this nightmare. This case raises questions that should terrify every American who believes in justice. How do we lose track of a career criminal's fingerprints in 2023? How do prosecutors miss nearly 4 decades of criminal history? How many other Samuel Dickies are walking free right now because of similar administrative errors? But here's what I want you to think about. Logan Rivera followed every safety rule we teach our children. She stayed with friends. She checked in with family. She avoided dangerous situations. And she still died because the system designed to protect her protected her killer instead. What safety measures actually work when the system is this broken? How do we protect our loved ones from threats the justice system refuses to contain? Tell me in the comments, what changes do you think need to happen to prevent another Logan Rivera? What would you demand from your local prosecutors and police departments? And if you're not subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Cases like Logan's, where system failures cost innocent lives, need to be told. Your subscription helps us investigate more stories like this one, reach more families who need their voices heard, and maybe prevent the next tragedy. As of now, Samuel Dickey sits in jail awaiting trial, finally facing consequences that should have come decades earlier. The evidence against him is overwhelming. The charges are serious. Justice for Logan seems likely, but justice for Logan won't bring her back. It won't give Stephen Rivera his daughter back. It won't fulfill Logan's dreams of becoming a teacher or let her experience the life she deserved. What it might do is force uncomfortable conversations about how we handle repeat offenders, about whether administrative convenience is worth more than human lives, about whether 39 arrests should equal 39 chances to hurt more people. Logan's case is closed. Her killer will face trial and likely spend the rest of his life in prison. But the larger mystery remains. How do we fix a system so broken that it protects criminals more effectively than it protects victims? The Richland County Sheriff's Department worked quickly to solve Logan's murder once they knew it had happened. But the real crime was that it happened at all. Here's what keeps me up at night about Logan Rivera's case. Samuel Dickey isn't unique. Right now, in jurisdictions across America, there are career criminals walking free because of missing paperwork, administrative errors, and system failures. How many have 30-plus arrests and clean official records? How many are one paperwork error away from being treated as first-time offenders? How many Logan Riveras are going to bed tonight thinking they're safe, unaware that the system has already failed them? The technology exists to fix this. The resources exist to prevent it. What's missing is the will to prioritize public safety over administrative convenience. Logan Rivera deserved better. Her family deserves better. And every potential future victim deserves a system that actually works to protect them. Logan Rivera's murder is solved, but the questions it raises about our justice system demand answers. How do we prevent the next career criminal from slipping through administrative cracks? How do we ensure that 39 arrests actually mean something? If unsolved mysteries like this move you, stories of young women with bright futures, families who refuse to give up fighting for justice, and the belief that systems can change when people demand better, then you're exactly where you belong. Hit that like button if this story made you feel something and you believe we can do better. And listen, if you're not subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Every single week we dive deep into cases that expose system failures, stories that mainstream media won't touch, and mysteries that demand answers. Your subscription literally helps us investigate more cases, reach more families, and maybe, just maybe, help prevent tragedies like Logan's. We're not just telling stories here. We're fighting for justice, one case at a time. Subscribe right now and join our growing army of truth seekers who refuse to let these cases die in forgotten file cabinets. Hit that notification bell because you won't want to miss what we uncover next. Some of these revelations will absolutely blow your mind. And please share this with someone who needs to hear it, someone who might have influence to change these broken systems. What detail in Logan's case bothered you the most? Do you think administrative errors like missing fingerprints are accidents or something more sinister? How do we hold the system accountable when it fails this catastrophically? Let us know in the comments below. Your perspective might be exactly what's needed to prevent the next tragedy. While Samuel Dickey awaits trial, Logan Rivera's memory demands that we do better. Her dreams of becoming a teacher remind us that every victim was someone's whole world. Her father's fight for answers shows us that love doesn't end with death. What systemic failure should we expose next? Let us know in the comments below. Until next time, remember, the search for answers continues, and every victim deserves justice. If you have information about similar cases where repeat offenders were treated as first-time criminals, please contact your local district attorney's office or submit tips to your state's Criminal Justice Oversight Board. Your voice could prevent the next Logan Rivera.